Welcome to today's CNLA HortProtect Lunch and Learn webinar. My name is Nicole Xavier. I'm the Member Services and Administration Manager here at CNLA. Today's webinar is provided by People Corporation. People Corporation is CNLA's endorsed supplier for health benefits. We've got Amy McDermott, who is our National Managing Consultant for HortProtect Group Benefits at People Corporation. And Amy's got over 25 years plus experience delivering practical client-focused solutions. We've also got Cindy Danielson, account manager at Collage. Cindy has over 20 years of experience in HR benefits, corporate wellness technology, and other roles. So Amy's session will focus on employee benefits, HortProtect's group life, and health coverage, which is designed for our members, owners, and their families. And then Cindy is going to explain Collage HR, how it can simplify your HR work, especially those of you who also have seasonal teams. So a few little housekeeping rules. I encourage everybody right now, if you can go into the chat, put down your name as well as the company that you're with. That'll just help Cindy and Amy as they navigate some of the questions. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask either of our panelists today, we ask that you put them in the question and answers, and we will get to them as we finish each presentation. So without further ado, I'd like to turn things over to Amy McDermott.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I see that we've got a couple of existing HortProtect clients online. That's great to have you here. Hopefully it's a good refresher on the benefits program and also on Collage HR for you as well. As Nicole mentioned, I'm the managing consultant for the HortProtect program at People Corporation. It is a national role for me, and my primary role is to ensure that the program is meeting the needs of the membership. You will see me at pretty much every event that there is across the country, promoting the program, answering questions, and meeting client needs. So what I'm going to do today is go over the program for members. Again, a lot of you are already on the program, but this will be a good refresher. So what is HortProtect? I do hear this quite a bit. HortProtect is the brand name of the endorsed insurance program available to all Provincial Association and Flowers Canada members. It is the People Corporation side, which is the health benefits side, is a program that was started actually in the mid-1980s. So since that time, the program has grown. It's grown nationally, and it has evolved. So, based on the feedback of the members and the changing needs of the industry, we have made improvements and modifications to the program throughout the years. It's a national program. It has participation in all Canadian provinces. The primary provinces where you see most participation are BC and Ontario, which makes sense because that's where we see most of the members. And it is part of the member services and benefits that are delivered to this community by the Canadian Nursery Landscape Association. So anybody who is a member of their provincial association or Flowers Canada, they roll up to membership in the CNLA, and there is a huge list of benefits and programs available. We're going to focus today on the HortProtect insurance program, and then my colleague Cindy Danielson is going to talk about Collage HR, which is the HRIS system that comes free with the benefits program. So as I mentioned, this is a program that is really based on the feedback of the industry. So these are the things that I've heard from folks in the industry. When they're talking about looking at a benefits program, they say, I want my people to see this as a career, not just as a summer job. As employers, you're competing for talent with other industries and other sectors, not just your own. You're competing for talent with employers that offer pensions, RRSP contributions, in addition to a full benefits program. We hear from our members that they don't have the time or the tools to manage their recruitment needs and their HR, their employee record needs. A lot of folks will tell us that they feel that they're too small a business for benefits. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And what we also hear is that most benefit plans can't address the needs of a seasonal business. So we'll talk about how the HortProtect program works within this community. So what makes the CNLA member community unique? There are over 4,800 member companies nationally. There's a wide variety of business types and sectors. When I came into this, I came from outside the industry. I didn't know what hydro seeding was. I didn't know that soil is created. I thought that they just dug it up from one place and put it into another place. I've learned so much, and I've learned so much about all the little niche businesses within the industry. The industry is highly seasonal, and it very weather dependent as well. We have businesses as small as one person on this program, and that is unique to this program. You won't see carriers that will provide group benefits to a sole proprietor or just the owner of a business. So that is very unique. We see a lot of multi-generational family businesses. I talked a little bit about in the last slide about how people want to see their employees, they want them to see it as a career. So you'll see multi-generational family businesses where succession planning, maybe the younger generation isn't going to take over. So we see a lot of businesses where employees end up being the business owners. We see a high proportion of members over the traditional retirement age of 65. So we have a huge number of members on this plan that don't fit the mold of a regular corporate gig. Business owners that never really retire and employees well over the age of 65. So we provide coverage for those employees and those business owners well past when a traditional benefits plan will do that. And we see a huge age and generational gap. So when we talk about a benefits plan, we want to talk about tailoring the benefits and total rewards to meet these unique needs. Here's a quote from Kevin Noss, who is also the chair of the insurance committee, and we work very closely with him. He's been a member for a very long time on the program, but throughout the years, we have tweaked his company's plan to meet his specific needs, and specifically the needs of his seasonal employees. It's one thing to build a plan that is for an owner or management team that is working 8 to 10 months per year, takes a little bit of seasonal layoff, and then another thing entirely to build a plan for the seasonal team. So we work within the industry and the requirements. So what makes this plan unique? The key word is the flexibility. So we do customize the plan design and customize the employee classes. So typically what we'll see is we'll see an owner's class, we might see a management class, we might see a seasonal class of employee. These classes will all have different plan designs and different levels of flexibility within the plan. So we work very closely with our members to make sure it's meeting the business needs. We also have a retiree class. So if you are a business owner that is looking to retire or semi-retire, you're still dabbling in the business, you still own the business, but you're not working full-time or you're not working the minimum 15 hours per week that the plan requires, we can move you into a retiree class. You keep your health and dental coverage, and you can travel, you can take advantage of all the travel rewards and stay on the plan. So it is a pooled association account. So it's CNLA association benefits. So that means pooled rates. It means you have the buying power of a small business and coverage for small businesses, but with the buying power of the entire association. And it's the endorsed insurance program through CNLA and provincial association membership. In terms of administration, we make it easy in terms of online administration and online claims. We make things flexible and easy to handle seasonal employee plans. We'll allow for up to 6 months of employees being on seasonal layoff without you having to totally re-onboard the employee. You just re-enable them in the system. And you have the flexibility to make plan design changes through the year. This is very different than most benefit plans. There's usually a period of annual enrollment or annual changes, and you have a limited time period to do that. That is not the case with this plan. So I'm not going to go through this in a high level of detail. This is really just an idea of what's available in the core plan. So the core plan, and then within every benefit line item, there are flexible coverage options. So the plan offers life insurance and dependent life, AD&D, Core to the plan is extended health, and that includes prescription drug coverage, paramedical coverage, which is things like physiotherapy, chiropractic, mental health practitioners. The extended health also includes our out-of-country coverage. So this is medical coverage and trip cancellation coverage that covers you not only for business travel, but for personal travel as well. And this is one of the best coverages you can get in the industry. And you do not have to purchase additional insurance when you're booking a trip. Dental is actually optional on the plan, but we don't have many groups that don't take the dental. And there's flexible options within those plan options. So those are the core elements of the plan. Additional options, and you'll see at the top of the screen, I talk about employer sponsors. As an employer, you will decide what level of benefits you want to give to your different classes of employees. The core plan elements were on the previous slide. These are additional offerings that you can add to your benefit plan to support your employees. We have critical illness coverage, short-term and long-term disability coverage. We also offer healthcare spending and wellness accounts. This really gives you a lot of flexibility to say, put some choice back into the hands of your employees. If they want to spend their healthcare spending account on, say, vision wear, if you're not offering vision on their core plan, you can give them money to do that. You can give them money to augment their dental. If you're offering, say, an 80% reimbursement level on your extended health, they can use their healthcare spending to pay for that additional 20% that they're out of pocket. A lot of different flexible ways to use a healthcare and wellness account within your core offering. And then we also offer employee assistance programs. We have employee assistance, which are individual and couples counseling sessions for a variety of requirements. It could be mental health, financial, legal advice. We also offer a next level, which is Care Path. So that is medical second opinion, assistance with navigating the complexities of diagnosis of cancer or diabetes, etc. And then Total Health is a complete virtual care access. So there are 5.9 million Canadians today that do not have access to a primary care physician. This is something that can be offered to employees to give them that level of virtual care and give them the services of a physician. On top of that, there's also employee choice add-ons. So each employee who's on the core plan can also add in additional life insurance, additional AD&D, and additional critical illness. So that's something that you can ask us about if you're already a plan member, or we'll present to anybody who's interested in looking at a benefit plan. So as I mentioned, the plan's been around since the mid-1980s. It was started in Ontario by a small brokerage, and it has grown. And part of that growth was the acquisition by People Corporation. So a lot of kind of smaller brokerages came part of People Corporation. In addition to that, we acquired both the Collage HR software package and a software package called Best Life Rewarded. Cindy's going to go into more detail about Collage HR, so I won't steal her thunder. Best Life Rewarded, it's a gamified digital wellness and engagement platform. This allows employees to log in, to interact with the platform, to do self-assessments of their wellness and health. They can interact with the platform and do fitness challenges for themselves. You can do fitness challenges within as the employer to challenge your employees, and people actually earn points, and you can earn gift cards. So it's a really great platform to, level up the engagement level of your employees and really support their wellness journey. As part of Best Life Rewarded, we've actually also launched our own virtual pharmacy. So it's in partnership with Rexall. It is convenient, easy to use. It's digital pharmacy. It also provides access to a virtual pharmacist. So nowadays, pharmacists can prescribe and diagnose for minor ailments. And so you can get your prescriptions delivered to your door. if your employees are on a copay or a co-insurance where they're out of pocket, so say for example, their plan is only covering 80%, this virtual pharmacy, People Corporation will top up that additional 20%, up to $40 per prescription. So it is a great new value added service that we've added to the program this year. In addition to that, in the top right, we have a huge list of People Advantage cost saving programs. These are discounts on things like pet insurance, additional retail discounts at Rexall, for example. The newest one is also Vengo, and Vengo is a huge list of discounted services. A lot of companies will purchase this service on their own to deliver to their employees. It comes free of charge with the program. So I do have a list of these discounts and services that I can send to anyone who's interested. But suffice to say, there is a huge added value that we deliver on top of the core benefits program. In addition to the benefits and the additional discounts, People Corporation really is about the entire employee journey. So we also offer group retirement, RRSP plans, profit sharing, and we also offer People First HR services. We do recognize that a lot of the groups within this industry are small businesses. A lot of our customers don't have their own HR teams, and we provide consulting services for HR. A lot of times the first call is as much as our customers need to help guide them to what they need to do, and then we offer paid engagements in addition to that. So just a reminder that we do a little bit more than just the benefits program. That is the group benefits and additional services in a nutshell. Nicole, I don't know if there's any questions quite yet.
I don't see any questions. If anybody has any questions for Amy that she can answer for the group, if you wouldn't mind chatting them in the questions and answers or even directly in the chat, whichever you prefer.
I really do think that a lot of people want to see Collage HR, and Cindy's actually going to show the platform as well. So most of you on the call already know who I am. You see me. I really want to hand off to Cindy now and let her kind of showcase Collage HR.
Okay, so just before we turn it over to Cindy, we do have one
Oh,
question.
great.
It says, how can we see what HR services are available? So we are getting to that. Cindy's going to go right into that. And then it says People First HR Services.
Yeah, absolutely. So People First HR Services operates, as a pay for service module on top of the benefits. What we can do, and whoever it is that has asked, I can follow up with. We actually offer kind of, certain hours per month. You can subscribe to those services, and that can be anything from assistance with, your employment letters, how to do recruitment, anything related to employment law. If you've got some questions about that, we really help to augment your teams that don't necessarily have an HR specialist or even an HR generalist that kind of live and breathe the rules of being an employer in Canada. So bunch of different options for how you engage. You would come through myself and Sunil, who is on the call, your account manager. We're available to you to listen to your concerns and what your needs are, and then what we will do is guide you to that team, to the right specialist and the right program for you for People First HR Services. Cindy will probably know a little bit more because they're very tied to the Collage team as well. So I think the question came from one group member that I do know, so I will follow up individually.
And then we have one question in the chat about, can someone contact regarding RRSP options?
Absolutely.
So
Yes, we'll also put you in touch with a specialist for that. The really great thing about that program is that it's often hard for a small business to find a group retirement RRSP solution. And we've spent a great deal of time over the last couple of years making sure that we have a great offering for small businesses. Yes, I can take that on outside of this program to connect you to our folks.
we'll turn it over to you, Cindy.
Great. Thanks a lot, Amy and Nicole. Once again, I'm Cindy Danielson. I work with Amy very closely and really the represent the collage team. And I don't know if any of you on the call have had any exposure to collage in the past, but we have had made a really big announcement and development in our platform over the last year, which included the launch of our payroll software. So in the past, it was just sort of payroll integration with third-party systems, but now we actually have our own payroll solution, and I'll talk more about that today. So let's get started. I have quite a few slides that I'm going to try to whip through, some faster than others, but I do want to actually get to a demo and just quickly give you a quick tour of the platform as well. So we'll provide that overview. We'll talk about, what you get as a HortProtect member. We'll discuss the payroll options, and yeah, we'll talk about the next steps. What do you do? How do you get involved? How do you see a demo? And we'll just jump into the platform and give you a quick tour. So I work with all of our partners. I actually am based in Kelowna, BC, and I understand some of you may be in BC as well. But my colleague, Andrew Tinley, he is client facing. So that means that if and when you actually have an interest in a demo, it will be Andrew Tinley that will be providing that. And he is based in the GTA area and very familiar with the HortProtect package and how we tie in with that. So we really work as a team supporting all of our HortProtect members and collage clients. So we are a Canadian-made HR and payroll software with optional integrations with major benefits and third-party payroll vendors. And so in light of the current political dynamics, we always like to really stress that we are Canadian. And we are made exclusively for Canadian business. We're not dabbling in other geographies. It is just solely just Canadian business. And we service clients between, really 10 and 1,000 employees tends to be, our usual client. And our sweet spot is around 20 to 300 employees. Really, we actually have clients, with 5 employees, and they still use our platform because they just see the benefit and the value of, the automation and the efficiency gains. We were founded in 2016, and we were our people corporation company since 2019. And just to emphasize, once again, our team, our operations, and all employee data stored in our platform is stored on Canadian servers through Amazon Web Services. So, I know that's very important for a lot of Canadian employers. And we're fully bilingual in terms of our software and our team as well. So the great thing with HortProtect, for no additional cost, which is about a value of $17 per employee per month, you get all the components to our HRS, which are these things. So the employee records, the time off, vacation tracking, you can deliver employee trainings through our platform. You can survey your employees. We've got a variety of different reporting out of the box reports and the ability to create your own reports. The digital on and off boarding, I would think that would be a really valuable thing to you folks, because I know you'd have people, coming and going in your industry. And so to really be able to set up a process that is relatively consistent and you're able to kind of think about all the things that you want to do when a new hire joins the company, including any training that you want to deliver, and also maybe any benefits education. You can do that all part of the onboarding process through our platform. And then the same applies with offboarding. So when you have an employee leave, what are all the 10, 15 things that you need to do every time to make sure that that transition goes well and you're compliant with any labor laws as well. And then, of course, we have our recruiting and our applicant tracking system. It is the second most widely used feature in our platform after the time off PTO tracking module. We now have AI screening in there. So if you have, 50 candidates, for example, you can create a certain little prompt to do some further assessment of those candidates, and it'll provide a rating of what that recommendation is. So whether it's 100% meeting that qualifications or 60%, it's very valuable and helps you sort through applicant resumes far more efficiently. You can deliver performance reviews in our platform and then also use timesheets in our platform. And then, of course, we have the benefits sync. And so that means that, you have your benefits plan through HortProtect. So really what that means is that anytime there is a change that happens in Collage, we have a team of benefits specialists that will log into the respective carriers and make those updates. So you don't need to worry about doing that. You just do that in Collage, and then everything else kind kind of taken care of for you as well. And this is sort of the big development, of course, is that we have collage payroll. So of course, you're not paying for, extra cost for the HRS and benefits sync, but the collage payroll is an additional cost, and that is $4 per employee per month. And very affordable when you think about, if you're on a wage point or an ADP, that type of thing. And one thing that I'd like to really stress about our payroll is that there's no additional costs beyond that. A lot of systems charge extra for per pay run, sometimes year-end reporting. We don't do that. It is strictly just that $4 per employee per month. But if for whatever reason you wanted to keep your existing payroll system, that is available, and that's $3 per employee per month. So you've got a couple of great options there. So once again, just a little bit about the payroll solution. So it provides a full seamless user experience for employees. They log in, they see their pay stubs, their T4s, all from one system rather than having to go two different systems. We do the direct deposit to the employee bank account and CRA. Any updates to vacation time, time off, and our timesheets instantly feeds to Collage Payroll, so it's fully integrated. You can pay contractors through our platform, and we also have integrations with accounting packages such as QuickBooks and Xero, and we're currently working on a Sage integration as well. But once again, we still are offering the payroll sync service with these third-party payroll vendors, and so really anytime a change happens in Collage, our team will log into the respective payroll system on behalf of the client and really make these updates specifically around new hires, any terminations, any compensation data updates. And we do that within, once again, 24 to 48 hours. So it is a service we provide. It's not a direct technical integration, but we're very efficient at doing it and have a very high accuracy rate as well. Why would you need an HRS? Why is that even a priority? So usually small and medium-sized business, if they don't have a system in place, you're tracking people information on spreadsheets and maybe multiple spreadsheets. And so we're pulling it all together, digitizing it, securing it in one system. So just by virtue of pulling it all together in that one system, you're already gaining on efficiencies. But we're helping you save your time, reduce your administration, so you're not going to so many different systems, and really you just say your one-stop shop, which is far more efficient in terms of streamlining your processes. And then also reducing risk. So, from a benefits perspective, you have a certain window to enroll your employees. And so within Collage, employees go through their digital onboarding process in Collage, which includes benefits enrollment. And that often happens within the first couple of days of employment, which is great. So in which case that process is kind of already taken care of. And you're eliminating that risk of a late applicant for new hires in particular. And then the same with terminations. Unfortunately, it's quite common or far too common for employers to terminate an employee off of benefits or, pardon me, off of payroll, but then they forget to remove them off of benefits. And then, 3-6 months later, they're realizing they've been paying premiums and claims for an employee that's left long ago. So the value of that benefit sync service helps with that. And then, and just in terms of being more efficient, using everything together. There's a lot of information here, but I just want to highlight in terms of how we help clients reduce their risks. So we're ensuring that, of course, data privacy is stored in Canada. We have all the stat holidays and overtime and double overtime rules built into our platform. So every employee in our system is assigned a location, and that location abides by certain provincial rules. So anytime an employee is adding their time to timesheets, the system is automatically calculating that as well. You can set up auto reminders. So if you have any kind of certifications or licenses, that type of thing, you can make sure that you set up automations far in advance so that you're not at risk of having those important dates lapse. And then, of course, you're just making sure that when you're hiring folks, that you're having that consistent recruiting process. You can create interview guides to help your managers ask consistent and appropriate questions. You can make sure that when you're going through onboarding, if you have any kind of policies or procedures, you can deliver those as part of the onboarding process. And then, as I mentioned, you can benefits enrollment is part of the onboarding process within Collage. And then performance. If you have any performance issues, whether they're with its great performance or not so great performance, you can track that all in Collage as well, and make sure that you can develop a plan for any employees that maybe have any challenges in their role to make sure that you're keeping them on track. I mean, for those star performers, of course, you still want to track that. They want that feedback. And you can outline a plan, and maybe it's a succession plan, and identifying what does a worker need to do to potentially be a supervisor, or maybe even potentially take over ownership of the company. You can do that all within the performance module. And then offboarding, people leave, and needless to say, that's it's just a reality of the business. So you need to make sure that you do all the required steps to make sure that that transition goes well, and that any important information is taken care of and handled privately and confidentially as well. And you can make sure that Collage helps with all of those different stages and processes. And then I just wanted to mention TD1s. The provincial and the federal TD1s are also built into our platform. So we update those every year. You don't need to worry about doing that. So when you go through, or a client or an employee goes through digital onboarding, they know that this is, they're being provided the latest and greatest TD1 as well. And then, of course, just the efficiency gaining of using our recruiting or applicant tracking system. You can accept applications directly through your website or directly through Indeed, and they flow through directly through our platform. And then you can internally all collaborate and make feedback, and really interact with the candidate, and email directly through our platform to move them through the recruiting process. And you can even extend an offer through our platform and convert the candidate record to an employee record by like one button click. And yeah, with the onboarding and offboarding, there's automations, reminders, a variety of different tasks that you can set up to the individual as well as organizationally as well. We provide those provincial and federal tax documents. And then also the time off and vacation tracking. And this is the #1 most widely used feature in our platform. If you don't have a system for employees to submit their vacation time and managers to improve that online, usually there's a whole back and forth of emailing or having a conversation. And at the end of the day, employees like to have the visibility to see how much vacation time do they have outstanding, what have they used. And when they have a system, they can go in and take a look at that for themselves and know that they submit that, and then the manager can, approve that almost instantly as well. And it's just a fast turnaround. Time off tracking is done automatically, and you don't have to worry about calculations and all of that. So you can eliminate that whole Excel headache of time tracking. And then same with the training. So you can deliver training programs in our platform. Maybe it's, I put in this bullying at work, but, you can create whatever training programs you want. Maybe it's education around horticulture or whatever that may be, that you have a certain philosophy in your company in terms of how you want your workers to treat clients as well. You can build that in as part of a training program as well. And that content can be both video and written content. Of course, you can do your performance management programs. You can do 360-degree feedback if you want, where it's not just the manager, it's the manager and employees providing feedback on one worker. And you can do regular check-ins. Maybe it's, a monthly or quarterly check-in with your employees. You can do that and set that up. And then, of course, there's the benefits administration. So, the enrollment process happens as part of new hire enrollment. And, we really take on that whole extra headache of trying to update the carrier portal and so on, because we do that for you. And then timesheets. So we do, of course, have that. Employees can log in and enter their time. And then that information flows directly through to Collage Payroll. You can view reports on their employee hours. And if you continue to use a third-party payroll system, that can also be exported to a payroll vendor as well. Just a quick snapshot of some of the clients we work with, but just the significant time savings, like 80 hours, 70 hours that they've gained, 21 hours per month, just by implementing a system like Collage that has just, made things so much more efficient in terms of their automation and streamlining their hiring process. And Corrine with the BCLNA, she was nice enough to provide this, really a long quote, but I've kind of paraphrased it, and it's super kind and very generous. Just, it's an essential part of her operations. It's saved countless hours, provides clear and consistent tracking, helps her improve a governance and mitigates risk, and really just helps improve their overall HR program and strategy and transparency as well. So there's just been some great successes there as well. So as I mentioned, of course, just to give you some context to the pricing. So if you went to our website right now, the standard price is $14 and $3 for the benefits sync service. HortProtect members get that for no additional cost. I will mention, though, if you have an employee that is with your organization and you want to add them to Collage, but they're not on the benefits program, the standard rates do apply. So I just want you to be aware of that. But if the great thing is you're only adding payroll for an extra $4 per employee per month, and you get the full value of our platform, and it's just way more efficient and cost effective than actually working with a third-party payroll system as well. But if you want, that is still available. And of course, the implementation, there is no cost for that. You get access to an onboarding manager for approximately 60 days, and they will guide you through the whole implementation process. And there's 50% off for the first 3 months, and that really just applies if you're paying for payroll or for any employees on the plan that are not, or on the platform that are not on HortProtect as well. So, we really guide all clients through the process, and that usual process takes kind of 3 to 6 weeks thereabouts. And that doesn't mean you have to be full-time on the platform, but that's just generally speaking, implementing the full HRS is about that time. And this just kind of gives you an overview. You have a demo. We provide a quote. You'd have put your credit card on file. We would usually bill you monthly. There would be a kickoff call. We would provide an employee data sheet that you would populate. You would give it to our team. We would import it into your account, and then we work to train, do the configurations, and then you go live. And once again, that process takes about 3 to 6 weeks, and can be very efficient. So sort of the next steps, if you haven't seen this one pager already, then I'm sure we will be sending it off as well. But really just the process is to book a demo with Andrew. And, he will provide you a more in-depth demo. I don't have time to do that today, and he will be able to answer all your additional questions. Whether you choose to purchase the payroll or not, it doesn't matter. The process is the same. And just make sure that you tell him that you are a HortProtect member. And of course, he will provide you with a $0 quote is usually how that works, as it is a contract between us. And then you kind of, he does the introduction to our onboarding team, and you get ready to go. So it can be a pretty fast process. I'm going to jump into a demo now and give you a feel for the platform. It will be very high level just in the interest of time, but I encourage you to ask any questions as well. All right, so first of all, I am going to sign in as a regular employee. I think it's always helpful for you to see what an employee sees when they log in. And I'll quickly log into the system administrator view after and give you that view as well. All right, so now I have logged in as Andy Bernard. He is an employee and a manager. So he works with a software company, YourWish Software. He can see, because this has Collage payroll, I can actually see the pay date in terms of what's coming up next. He can view his time off, request time off as well. He can see who else is out of the office today, but he can also filter on a calendar and see, historical and future date vacation time off as well. You've got your company links, which are all defined by you, the client, and same with the company files. And there's a great engagement. We call it the social feed. So you can post announcements so your employees see that, and you can segment it into terms of maybe you have a certain division. You only want, to communicate an announcement to a certain division. You can do that. We automatically report work anniversaries and birthdays, but you can turn that setting off if you don't want that information visible as well. Just going to quickly go to my info. So Andy is looking at his own personal record, and you can see he can update his basic information, his address, click through to any of his direct reports. And then everything from employee information down are all custom fields that you can create, and you can set up automations and advanced notifications on any date-based fields as well. So, maybe there's, you need to track their employee license number or whatever that is, you can track that in here as well. You've got your job information, easy for Andy to take a look and see what has changed in the time that he's been with the company. We've got the time off information. He can request time off, but then also, you've got your carryover rules. You can block time as well. Maybe there's a peak season. I know, you're kind of compressed your work year into, a certain number of months, but maybe there is a very specific period where you cannot allow employees to take time off. You can, schedule a block time so that employees cannot book that time off as well. You've got documents. So I've organized them into employment documents, which are most of these were provided when he went through onboarding, but you can also upload files. And then collage payroll. And unfortunately, I don't have a pay stub in here right now for 2026, but that's where it would appear. And then he can update his emergency contact information. And if you use a calendar system, we do integrate with Google Calendar and Microsoft Calendar as well. There's a full people directory as well, so it's easy to see the structure of who reports to who. Then we have our time off tracking. So Andy is a manager, so if you have managers, they at a glance can see all of their employees, see what's accrued, available, used, and scheduled, and also filter on different leave types. And then also the pending requests. So, Bart has requested some time off. At a glance, you can see as a manager if there's anyone else on my team that is currently out on the days that Bart have requested. So right now, nobody has, but if there was somebody who's already been approved vacation, I would see that there, and it would help me make my decision easier if I'm going to approve or reject. We've got our time tracking, which is our timesheets capability. And let's see, I think I have some data back a little further, but you can track time, whether it's project work, internal projects, client work, that type of thing. I will mention, I know quite often we're asked about, can you do project planning and really do the project scoping and so on within our platform. It's not intended for that, but absolutely employees can log in and track their time to a certain job if they want. And of course, overtime and double overtime rules are populated in our platform or automatically included there as well. The benefits module, we've got, once we get access to the carrier profile, we build out this module. And of course, that's part of the HortProtect package. And so we just make it easy for employees to see a quick level, high level overview of their coverages. We make it easy for employees to, submit a claim to the carrier or contact their service department. And we provide the benefits booklet as well. And employees can come in and update their coverages or, whether or not they have a change in their health or pardon me, in their family. Whether or not they have a child or whatever, get married, that type of thing. They can come in and make changes and kind of follow the wizard. And then that's really what triggers our benefits team to go ahead and update the carrier portal. We've got our performance reviews. This is a widely used feature. You can do 360-degree views, so you can ask other workers to provide feedback or just managers to provide feedback, but a variety of different question types, checking a multi-pick lists, text-based fields, also scored type questions, which is all tallied at the system admin view, and also making notes. You can set up goals if you have any kind of goal tracking that you want to track, a parent goal. So maybe you have a goal at the manager level and then, maybe child goals, that type of thing. You can see and set that up in there as well. And you can set up check-ins, which is maybe set up at like a certain interval. Maybe it's a monthly check-in with employees and their managers, that type of thing. You can do that. And set that up so that the employees are automatically notified. You need to go in and do your check-in and answer a series of questions which are defined by you. These are just some examples. And you can survey your team, whether it's anonymous or named as well. So here's just a quick example of what that looks like: scored type questions, text-based fields, and so on. And you can also create and deliver training programs. So for example, here's worker-to-worker bullying and harassing. So for example, I just pointed to, a WorkSafe BC link, but you can upload written content if you want, and then also quizzing your employees on what they watched and read. And this can be embedded as part of onboarding or a standalone training program that you can invite employees to view. So let me just do a time check. I would love to just quickly log out of this and log into the system admin so I can quickly show you the recruiting applicant tracking system, and then I'll wrap up. Yeah, I think there's a lot of value. I'm sure hiring is probably a big part of your day-to-day, and having an applicant tracking system is a huge time saver. Okay, so same look and feel. I have visibility to all the upcoming payrolls. I have some insights. Just a quick thing here, payroll, or pardon me, at the people level, I have insight in terms of which employees I've invited to the platform and where they are in the onboarding process. But I'm just going to skip right forward to the recruiting module. And this company is hiring for a sales representative. So they have set up all of their unique recruiting process here. You can also see all the candidates that have applied for jobs, and this is both through Indeed and through the company website. You can sort on date or through the AI rating. So there's a 100%. So how that works is you go to the screener, you do an edit prompt, and the AI will search all of the candidate profile and resumes and so on to indicate or to search for a certain number of experience or years of experience or whatever detail you want to set up. Run the prompt, and then it looks through all of the candidates and assigns a rating for them as well. So for example, in this case, there's only 60%, and it even indicates, where are they not meeting that full 100% as well. But you can extend an offer directly through the platform, move candidates through the job interview process. You can make comments, which internal hiring collaborators can see each other's feedback. You can see the timeline, any custom questions that you ask as part of the application process, and also the resume that was uploaded by the candidate as well. You can send emails directly through here. So maybe you're asking for references or you're wanting to do a resume reject. And so, for example, if you disqualify a candidate through here, it's very easy. The system automatically sends off an email as well. So you're not having to worry about doing that, and just manage to keep giving a professional overview of who you are as a company. And let's just do a quick view of the job posting. And this is an example of what it looks like. It is hosted on Collage, so you would really just link your careers page or job posting page back here, and our team would help you support that process. You can share it, the job posting, on various different social sites. And here's, just sort of the criteria that I've put for the job description. And then you've got the Apply Now button, which shows you the fields that you've defined of what questions you want to ask, and you can add additional questions. And these actually have auto disqualification rules. So if you require a landscaper, for example, to have a valid driver's license and they indicate no, it's auto disqualified. So you're not wasting time looking at candidates that are not the right fit for the job. So big time saver. And then just going back here in terms of the recruiting, you have visibility in terms of your entire candidate pool, and you can filter on the entire candidate pool. You can create interview guides, set up all the different email templates that you want to set up and use over and over again. And the job site is really where our team works with you to set up your job site, any custom images and so on, and set up the integration, and also integration with Indeed as well. So lots of different things here. You can extend offers to our platform. We have a variety of different standard reports, whether it's the age profile, but whatever any information in the system is reportable. You can track time per project, any kind of training programs, your recruiting, time to hire, all of that is there. And you can also create custom reports for any of those custom fields, or maybe you just want information reported in a different way. And really, the company settings is where we do most of the setup with onboarding, and you get really comfortable as part of the onboarding process to learn about, all your setup of the system, how you change your leave types, your onboarding tasks, your offboarding tasks, your custom fields, all of it. And it's very simple to set up, and our team helps you with the whole process as well. And you can always contact our support team. We have a variety of different help articles, or you can contact our support team through here or email our team as well. And they're super responsive, and they're just a really nice group of people. So it's a very quick overview. I would encourage you to book a demo and a detailed demo with Andrew, and he can kind of go into the specifics of what you may be looking for. But I hope that was helpful, and encourage you to ask any questions while we're down to the last 5-10 minutes here.
Thanks so much, Cindy. So now we'll open it up to everybody. Does anybody have any questions for Cindy? You can type them in the question and answer tab, or you can put them right in the chat.
I think the big thing that I just wanted to add is, I do encourage you, even if you're not really in a position to tackle this right now. I mean, it's not a huge undertaking to do this. I know it may feel a little overwhelming, but I encourage you to actually go and have that demo with Andrew. He will be able to answer your specific questions, talk about, the configuration setup and so on. And maybe even if it's I want to look at it now to see, is this something I can do, in an off-peak season or a time of the year, right? Like maybe this is a good time to implement a system, but recognizing once you get into peaks, growing season and so on, it may not be something you can even think about. But just having that demo and really understanding the details and the payroll and so on, more than what I was able to show you today, I think would be really helpful to just give you a good understanding of it, and just give you something to think about, whether it's now or in the future.
Yeah, I think that's really well said, Cindy. I know from our perspective, we're using it where we do have the onboarding documents. We have all of our employees set up so that we can put in their documents on an annual basis. We can update all of that. But then we decided to do the recruiting module, and the recruitment was seamless and easy because you can click on it. You've got these already formatted emails that'll go to the candidates, which is essential in today's world because you do have to respond to everybody. So I know that we do have a few in the chat, a few questions here. So can you use the onboarding and training without the timesheet and other tracking?
Yes, absolutely. So for example, we do have just clients that literally just use us for the time off vacation tracking as an example. Or, I think that's the other important thing is you have all of these options available to you. It doesn't mean you need to implement them right away. So maybe you just have an immediate need to use the recruiting module, for example, then we can focus on that. And then, 6 months or 8 years down the road, then at that time we can provide some additional training for you to use the other features. But like if performance management is not a priority right now, then don't focus on it. You can just, focus on the one or two key modules that you want. And fortunately, it's all included, of course, with the exception of the payroll options, but that's all included. And you can pick and choose what's your priority now, and think about other things later on if you want.
And then we've got a comment that as a user, the HR Collage team has been really great to work with and available quickly to answer questions. So well done there. And moving over to questions and answers, we've got a few more. So I have a part-time employees not on benefits. Would there be a service fee for those employees? And can you confirm?
Yes, correct. So if they are not on benefits, then their standard pricing does apply. So that's something to consider for sure.
I had also put a note in the chat that I'd checked with the Collage team. If you're offering a healthcare spending account, this typically will apply, say, to like your seasonal employees. Sometimes, it's not making sense to put them on the fully covered benefit plan. But if you're offering them a healthcare spending account on our platform, they are included in the program as well.
And then are timesheets available if you're not using the payroll service?
Yes, it is included as part of the HRS, so you don't have to have the payroll service for that.
Okay, well, we're wrapping up right on time. Cindy and Amy, I can't thank you enough for your time today. This session has been recorded, so you will be able to view it after. And if anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to Amy, Cindy, or myself. Thanks so much for joining us today.